What's up? I am B-Train from those Missouri guys. Back on the old set, man. Isn't this great? Anyways, what could be on my discussion board? Let's talk about one of the worst pay-per-views in WWE history. What am I talking about? TLC 2012? I mean, you guys really couldn't honestly tell me that this pay-per-view did not steal a few things from the Attitude Era? Really? I mean, really? You guys think I'm not going to tell you how bad this acting job really was? I mean, I have to give two matches some very needed props. And those matches are the six-man tag match between The Shield versus Ryback, Daniel Bryan, and Kane. Now, let's touch base with this match first, because let's see. I watched this at the bar with two friends who, on a regular basis, I watch pay-per-views with. Aside from all that jibber-jabber, I saw a match that included something that injected life into the WWE. It made me and the two guys who were watching with me have an adrenaline rush after that match. There was so much chaos going inside the ring, outside the ring. Ryback getting speared through the barricade. I mean, that's a little edge-like, don't you think? But I will give credit where credit is due to The Shield. I mean, these guys pulled off something that has not been able to be pulled off in quite a while. And what am I talking about? I don't think this has ever been done before. Suplexing Daniel Bryan off the top rope, Dean Ambrose and Seth Collins, that was genius. And let me tell you, it was beautifully done. Beautifully done. The Spanish announce table is gone. They went outside the ring. They went all over the place. They hit the set. Ryback threw Seth Collins off that ladder, and still the Shield was able to pull off the win on their first debut at a pay-per-view. That's pretty huge. Now, was this match, was this match so good that it's going to be a match of the year candidate? In my opinion, it should be, because this match didn't end right away. It didn't have a horrible finish. It was not predictable. You didn't know what was going to happen next. The action spilled in and out of the ring. And as far as I'm concerned, this is probably one of the best moments the WWE could afford to have. Because The Shield, whether you love them or you hate them, point being, they won their first match in WWE. These guys like Dean Ambrose, who's the brains of the outfit. You have Roman Reigns, the muscle of the group. And then Seth Collins, who is just basically part of the supporting cast, was a very, very vital part of the match. All three of them were. I love how, Kane went a little bit of old school in the match with a few spots and a few, bumps that happened on top of chairs, ladders. The tables were utilized properly. I mean, to me, this pay-per-view was I'm at a loss for words. And that never happens. So, this match was amazing. If the match would have been the main event, I probably would have said, wow, this night was awesome. Even if it wasn't what everybody wanted to see, guess what? This company needed that. And what other match am I going to talk about next? Well, let's see. John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, okay, when I think of what transpired, before the end of the match, it brought me back to when I was talking to my friend. I said, what if, AJ was seen coming down in the ring, she did that action and did the five-knuckle shuffle and did the fist drop on top of Vicky Guerrero, and what kind of made everybody turn their heads was the fact that she pushed John Cena off the ladder, and John Cena landed outside the ring. Big shocker moment right there. I remember turning to my friend and saying, but what if AJ, what if she's the one that's going to complete the turn? What if she's going to be the one to turn on John Cena? Sure enough, 5-6 seconds later, AJ pushes him off that ladder, and bam, genius. That was genius, WWE. Mad props for that. Because had she not done that, it probably would have created a string of events that most WWE fans would not like. And when I say most, I mean the people that chant this, for example. What chants would I be possibly looking for or listening to when I think of if John Cena would have won this match? Let's sing on this one together, shall we? Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I always think of when I see him in the ring, especially when he tried to complete a Hurricane Rana that looked like a messed up head scissors. It just was so bad. There was another botch that happened in that match where Cena and Ziggler are on the top of the ladder, and John Cena got thrown through a table, and Ziggler somehow pushed off and fell, and they didn't even sell it correctly. It just wasn't, to me, it wasn't done correctly. And you cannot possibly get up after, at least sell it, guys. Come on. It wasn't all John's fault on that end. But still, what's funny to me is there have been botches with Cena involving himself and The Rock at WrestleMania 28. It just keeps getting worse. Is there ever going to be a bright spot with John and somebody in the ring? Doesn't matter who you put in there, he's going to sit there and just freaking botch it. And I'm sorry if I'm getting off the beaten path and going on a Cena rant again, but it's just the honest to God truth. The man cannot and will not learn any other wrestling move. He even stated that during an England show. And to me, the match with Dolph Ziggler and him, I am so glad that he didn't win, because it would have created what my friend's theory was. Think about this one. If John Cena had won, and The Rock beats Punk for the title at Rumble, and then The Undertaker returns somehow or some way and faces off with The Rock. During the match, these two get knocked out. Or, the other theory is, The Undertaker wins the title, he's worn out, John Cena comes down and cashes his Money in the Briefcase, Money in the Bank, and then thus ending the streak. That, to me, ladies and gentlemen, I would have to say no. Why? Come on. Is it really that hard for you guys to understand? If John Cena was to win at TLC, which thank God he did not, you would have a massive drop in ratings. The company would go under. Who knows? It probably would still be alive, but the point being, Ziggler winning that match, AJ doing the turn, saved the company's bacon big time. Because you do realize I theorized this, I have overdone this theory for a long time. John Cena is a paper champion. He is not what the company needs. For 10 years, he had a chance, but he blew it to help this company out. Aside from the John Cena Rampage, those two matches by far deserve props. And if it comes out on DVD, I guarantee it's going to be a hot seller. Because without CM Punk versus Ryback, this pay-per-view actually turned out to be brilliant. And I'm pretty sure that CM Punk, behind the scenes, was saying, wow, guys, great job. You guys did awesome. I know, my hand gestures are lame. But anyways, the point is, those two matches, the 6-man tag and the Money in the Briefcase ladder match, were amazing. Now, let's see. Even though I was nice about something for WWE, I'm going to go back on my rampage on Monday Night Raw. There were legends because it was the Slammy Awards in Philadelphia. And legends such as Ric Flair, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Tommy Dreamer, JR, good old JR, Mean Gene Okerlund, who was there. Then, you have a slew of matches in between the Slammy Awards. And to kick off the night, you had Rey Mysterio versus Damien Sandow. And the follow-up later on was Cody Rhodes versus Sin Cara. I'm sorry, but this is kind of why I tend to tune out Monday Night Raw. For the facts being that they did do a follow-up with the AJ Lee and John Cena angle at the end of Monday Night Raw. She didn't tell us all why she's doing what she's doing, but she is certainly making her way around the locker room, if you know what I mean. I have not heard the slut chant in quite a while. I heard very brief parts of it that was kind of bleeped out because it is a PG show. However, during the entire night when they were presenting awards for the Slammy Awards, the one award that kind of irked me, and this is kind of why I just want to just cringe at this. John Cena gets Superstar of the Year award. I know that this is fixed because the names on this list that got awards, Kofi Kingston wins Shocking Moment in WWE. I was there at the Royal Rumble in St. Louis. I can tell you, that moment was awesome. That deserves props. I saw this event, and I saw him do it. I saw the handstand. Newcomer of the Year. That one's debatable. Antonio Cesaro. And Ryback, yeah, he did mention Owen Hart in his acceptance speech when he won the Newcomer of the Year award. I don't think it was very well received from some people. I mean, some people who watched wrestling can tell you it was okay. They didn't care. Owen's been gone for a while. To me, Ryback kind of touched a nerve, just a smidge. He won his award, blah blah. Kiss of the Year, John Cena and AJ Lee. If you guys aren't catching on to the ill-fated pattern that's going on right now, the favorites, oh yeah, Comeback of the Year. Okay, because Jerry Lawler had his heart attack. I understand. Now that one I understand. I'm a big Jerry Lawler fan because I watched him when he was a good announcer, not this, ball of putty kind of announcer like he is now. In other words, I understand where they're going with this, but these Slammy Awards to me was kind of, the Nature Boy Ric Flair appearing, are you kidding me? Why couldn't he appear in Raleigh, North Carolina? Why could he not have been used with Dolph Ziggler? A lot of people will debate with me on why things are done the way they are in WWE. Tonight's Monday Night Raw combined with the Slammy Awards, it did feel a little rushed. It did feel a little, like, oh man, it just keeps on proving my point. When you have a great pay-per-view, you should do great follow-ups. A great follow-up should be what happened from last night's pay-per-view, you carry on to the next pay-per-view. Del Rio turning face, in my opinion, they should have waited till Rumble. Probably could have been a lot better, I guess, but instead they did the turn at the pay-per-view, including the Brooklyn Brawler, The Miz, and Del Rio, who now obviously is face. It's very strange to see him in that role. I will say this, though. Del Rio turning face, and, wow. I really can't say anything. I'm at a loss. I lost my train of thought. That always happens because this company does things out of either impatience or just pure stupidity. Aside from that note, there is one Slammy that was justifiable, and that was the Triple H Undertaker match for Best Match. You know why I appreciate these two winning that award? Is because Triple H knows exactly what to do, what to say. He always has. It's been a part of his life, his career, his livelihood, you name it. This match between him and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 28 was one of the best matches. And at the end of his speech, he said, "You have not seen the last of The Undertaker." That means he's probably in good health and probably show up at Rumble, as it has been reported through PWI Insider, WNZ, and WrestleScoop. And it's, you know, all that I can say about tonight's show is it was really piss poor. Because the Shield attacking Tommy Dreamer in the back unexpectedly as cameras caught up with him in the back. That moment kind of reminded me of NWO and WCW when they had guys really going at it at each other in the back. Yeah, the NWO was a completely different group. They were groundbreaking also. And again, the Shield is what the WWE needs for its company. Whether you love them or you hate them, they're always going to be a part of the storyline. For now. But this is, I mean, it gives the company something to work with. It gives them something. It gives them a bit of, what's the word? Stability in storyline continuity, which has been lacking, you know, thus far in WWE. So, with all this rambling being said about Monday Night Raw, there was nothing in particular that stood out to me. It was the same bland, boring kind of material that always seems to go on. Yeah, all the legends showed up, but why does it take legends for this show to be cool again? I mean, it needs to be off the chain every Monday. I know they can't do that all the time, and I know they can't inject attitude into this because that era is done, but it's not out, and there's been glimpses of it at pay-per-views, some Monday Night Raws. To end this discussion, to wrap things up, let's see. TLC, great 2 matches. Raw, a bit bland. Kind of a lot of question marks as to what in the hell they're doing with AJ Lee and the John Cena angle. Why the hell is she messing around with a bunch of guys in the back? Not in reality, but just saying. I had a lot of questions that need a lot of answers. I am B-Train from those Missouri guys. Those were my thoughts. Those are my words. If you didn't like it, well then tune into some other critic's channel. I got places to be and I got things to do. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for you. And